Hi! This was bound to happen. A Gothic goddess, and no doll fitted my concept better than Skillida. Please ignore my weird nails. I had just gotten a UV nail kit, and well, things happened, and yeah, doubtful decisions were made. It was worth it though, as a fun experiment. Will I do it again? Unfortunately, probably. Anyway, this doll was in a pretty good condition. The only thing not that great was the glue in her hair. Over to the decapitation. Her head is pretty soft overall, and I didn't even heat it this time. To quote Mr. Powers, I also like to live dangerously. Next, I cut the hair off, as usual, and then proceed with scraping the hair out of the hair plugs with a flat screwdriver. This is kind of gross, but super satisfying. I cut the head to remove the hair from the inside. I then remove the paint with pure acetone. I've now bought myself a pair of rubber gloves for this. They smell nice for some reason, like flowers or something. Really weird, but I guess it's nice. With the help of a Q-tip, I can reach the tricky places and get the rest of the paint off. I really love her mold, it's really unique. It has been a while since I worked on a Skillida, so I was stoked to paint her again. First layer, outlines for the eyes, blushing, and the beginning of some harsh eyebrows. You'll see what I mean. Since her face mold have these prominent eyes, I decided to incorporate it into the Gothic makeup, making winged eyeliner, but like above the eye crevice, if that's what it's called. Red eyes, yes! I know my other Skillida Repaint had red eyes too, but I couldn't help myself. Spiderweb in the eyes, because why not? Her face was hard to blush, all the pastels just got sucked into it and I had to be careful. Usually I have to work the blush into the face, but here I had to take the minimal amount of pastels and be really light on the hand. For her lips, I filled them in with red and then used black pastels to darken them from the inside. As usual, I use the Army Painter acrylics, my favorite. create shade, I use pastels inside of the eyes. It makes a huge difference. And this is usually the first step where I start to feel like, yeah, I got this. This looks pretty dope. Then I go back in and brighten the eye whites with some watercolor pencil. To make her more goddess-like, I painted some stripes. Honestly, I would like this as a tattoo myself, but I will wait with that. Keep it as a retirement project or something. I had to make a spider. It had to be done. She needed it. So with a reference picture at the side, I spontaneously drew this little arachnid. This time I watered down the white acrylics to let some of the iris color shine through the eye shine. I like the result and I will probably do it like that from now on. And the face-up is done. Onto the clothes. I had a concept and wanted to make a dress with some kind of window to the spine, and she had to have a headdress. As a base for the top part of the dress, I used this sad old broken Claudine. She's the doll I use when I make patterns and try on clothes for fitting, so she's not new to this. First, I sketch where I want the window before I cover in cling wrap and sculpt the base. Base is done, and now I'll have to wait 24 hours before I can sand it down and add details. I always wear gloves when sanding, not because of any health risks, really, but because it leaves my hands dry otherwise. I was going to use epoxy clay to add details, but it didn't want to attach to the control cost, so I used Gothic instead. If I've understood it correctly, Gothic is used while painting on fabric as a barrier so that the paint doesn't spread, but it works well to create a 3D effect. If it comes in contact with itself, it will flow together though. A Fimo clay piping may be better, but yeah, at this point I was like, meh, I'll be fine. I added a second layer to make some details more prominent. Here we go. While that dries, I'll take the opportunity to make the headdress. Same procedure as the top. From the epoxy clay, I made a variety of skulls. They looked pretty cool. This is the result of my new airbrush. Can't believe I finally bought one. It has been a goal since I was a teenager. I didn't record it since it was my first time using it, but I'm happy with it. Now I need to take off the top and then paint all the golden details. This, together with painting the spider, was my favorite part of making this custom, hands down. My nails are back to normal, and the painting is done. I cut out a circle skirt from a sheer black fabric, burned the edges, without starting a fire this time, if I may, and glued it on the inside of the top. Here I make a little pattern for the green velvet that went inside the bodice. One of the skulls I made was painted gold and then glued to the headdress. I then glued an emerald crystal thing to its forehead. To make the front part stand out from the middle main one, I glued pieces of foam. Hooray for my scrapbooking friends and their awesome ideas. To finish it off, I glued a piece of thick paper and ribbon on the underside to be able to stick it to the head with needles, because this headdress is not built for comfort. She needed a cape. This is so easy to make, using a quarter of a circle as a pattern and 2 fabrics. I choose to line hers with red velvet, but I think green would have been cool. Anyway. Mark where to start and end the seam, then sew along the line, cut off excess fabric and turn it right side out. I messed up with the ribbons, so I cut them off and added them while sewing along the edge right side out. Time for some hair, but first I needed to glue the head together. So for the hair I was thinking pigtails. It might turn a bit girly, but then I thought I could make some cool hairdo if that was the case. First I mark where the pigtails will be placed and then I glue the wefts facing those marks. At this point, I was questioning all my life choices that led to this point. Honestly, it looked pretty bad for a while. Like, look at this. Oh well, For the parting, I glue a weft that goes in the other direction. When it's dried, I can just sweep it over to the other side and bam! A nice looking hair parting! On this doll, I wanted to make the hairline look more realistic, so I glued hair directly onto the head in front of the hairline. Now to just pop the head back on. So I started with this and ended up with this. As you can see, I added some details, a chain and studs for the cape, some cracks in her forehead and a ribbon for her bodice. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe because I have a bunch of ideas and it's probably gonna turn out really weird from now on because Halloween is coming, whoop whoop, and we're super hyped about that. So yeah, thank you, bye!